Hey everyone, what's up? This is Ace Bakugan Reviews, bringing you a review of a new Bakugan Battle Planet toy. This particular one is a Bakugan Ultra. This is Howlkor. So, getting started, this is a darkest Bakugan. So, his primary colors are going to be black and purple, and then he has sort of these accent markings that are colored in this nice light or lime green. So in the ball form, he has this little end of his tail that sort of secures his tail to the rest of the body to enclose the ball in this bright green. His eyes are also in this color on all three of his heads. And these neck hinges at the base of either side neck is also done in this nice light green. So as far as the design of the ball goes, since this is a Bakugan Ultra, he has sort of this ruggedness about him at the top. And the point of this is to make the ball easier to roll in a straight line. So these two heads in Howlkor's case will sort of act as a guide. And the center of his design you can see is rather wheel-like, and that should help him, theoretically at least, roll in a straight line. So when you place him down like this and you roll him, he's supposed to be able to roll just like a wheel might. So in a straight line, he's not really rolling all over the place erratically like a marble might, just a normal spherical marble. In practice, though, I find this isn't really as effective as you would think. So it works if you are very particular and precise with how you roll it. So if you push it gently, then it can roll in a relatively straight line and probably be easy to land on a core or a card. But if you just roll it kind of haphazardly, it's easy to spin them out of control, and these heads are very unforgiving when that happens because they'll knock him left to right and he'll really go off course at that point. So I'm not too sure that I'm sold on the design of the Bakugan Ultra. I think maybe with some time and practice you could get good at rolling these straight consistently. But I don't think most of your casual players are going to invest that kind of time. So probably this is going to be a choice maybe for serious or professional players or people that take this as a very serious hobby. So moving along with the rest of the design here, he doesn't really have too many markings on the body. He has some little, let's get this pointer out, or this screwdriver to use as a pointer. He has some little accent markings to sort of accentuate his wings. You can see with the purple lines here. He also has some little markings on his feet or his legs to make them look like claws, that kind of thing. But overall, there's really not a whole lot of intricate design going on with the body. His necks, you can tell they're sort of dragon-like necks by these lines that go across and sort of make it look like maybe they have scales or spikes or some sort of spine-like design. One other thing to note is the horns on the side of his smaller heads. Again, this is a creature with 3 heads. So on the side of either small head, he has this ear that's just painted on. It's not like a separate physical piece like you might see on the center heads here. They're just painted, if you can see that. Let me focus. There we go. So the center head has these pieces that are actually physically attached and separate from the head that are his horns. So let's go ahead and get them opened up. One thing that's very interesting and sort of odd to me about the design of these Bakugan Ultra, at least the one that I have so far, which is Howlkor, is it's not like a traditional Bakugan in the sense that it has a magnet on the visual lower part of his body where, you know, maybe his feet or legs or tail might be. But rather he has a magnet in the center of his head or neck here, somewhere in about this area where you can see this little rectangular right there where it's in the light. That's his magnet. So he's going to actually open on the gate card or the Bakugan upside down, which is sort of unusual when you look at Bakugan's design of the past. I think the only Bakugan that opened upside down, if you could even consider it upside down, was this Angelo Diablo Preus. But the reason I say he opened upside down is he had another design on the other side. So I wouldn't really call that upside down in truth. In any case, I believe that the reasoning for this is to make him sort of spring into action or, you know, have like a jumping effect when he opens on the card or the core. In any case, I think when he's open on the card, it looks sort of unusual. I don't think particularly the best choice in design or the best taste, but, you know, it gets the job done and you can just flip him if it bothers you that much. So I can't complain about it too much here. So let's go ahead and get him opened. Again, he does open upside down, and you see that he sort of springs into action because of the way that this is set up. So again, the magnet is on the center of this main head, and this main head is kind of far and separate from his 3 heads. So when he pops open, this head has to spring out like this. And so it kind of flings him into action. I guess that's supposed to make it look more dramatic or whatever. So that's an interesting design choice from Spin Master. So upside down, I think it looks cool how everything is kind of towering and spread out, and how his wings look and everything. But when you get closer up, you can really start to see that what you're really looking at is a bunch of springs, coils, and sort of these latches and flippy mechanisms and so on. And it doesn't really look as good seeing the underside of everything to me. I think it looks very strange again. But like I said, his feet, he's on a base of 4 feet, and his tail sort of supports him there as well. So it's very easy to just flip him over, and he stands very well on his own. You can see there's really no wiggling around here for the most part. He's not going to get knocked over if you blow on him or what have you. So that's a good thing. And I think he looks a lot better, obviously, like this. You can see that he's got a very aggressive stance. His wings are very far back and spread apart. He's kind of lurching forward with his head like he's about to take a bite out of something, perhaps. And his feet, his claws are very dug into the ground, and you can tell that he's ready to take on what's coming his way. So again, I think that this is a very similar design to Alpha Hydroid of the previous Bakugan seasons of the B2 series. So here's Alpha Hydroid also in Darkus. You can see that he's got these same, he's got 3 heads as well. So he's got a main head in the center that's larger, and then he's got these 2 sort of side or supporting heads on either side. So just a quick glance, you can see that these 2 other heads on Alpha Hydroid don't really have the level of design that they do on Howlkor here. So Howlkor's smaller head, you can see that they have an obvious mouth, their horn, eyes, nose, snout, what have you. Whereas with Alpha Hydroid, that's not so obvious. You probably wouldn't know that he had 3 heads unless you're maybe a fan of the show or the anime. So I do like that they've improved in that level of detail, for sure. So I do like the ball form design better on the Alpha Hydroid. I think that the way that the wings are designed, and maybe the claws on the feet are kind of this offset color. Granted, mine are faded from years and years of use. But you can see that the claws are painted a different color that sort of offsets them from, or the toenails or whatever you want to call them, are painted in a sense that offsets them from the rest of the design. And I wish they would have done something like that here, maybe painted them that bright green color or something. But in any case, it's certainly a menacing Bakugan, and even more so when you compare it from a side view to the Alpha Hydroid of the past. So you can't really complain a whole lot about it. It's certainly more aggressive looking in a lot of ways. So that is Howlkor, and quickly, just for the sake of the video, I'll show you the cards that came with the Bakugan Ultra package. It came with his character card, Howlkor Ultra. Here's the rear of that, but you're probably familiar with these. And then it also came with this ability card, Emerald Slash. So, one thing to note as well is these new packages, at least for the Bakugan Ultra, I don't think this came with the Pegatrix that I bought. They have these transformation instructions, which is really neat, and I think probably helpful to a lot of people considering the complexity of this design and how difficult it can be to use your hands to close something this small without breaking something or feeling like you're going to break something. So this can probably inspire some more confidence in our younger viewers and even people like myself, because I had trouble closing it the first few times I was messing around with it. So it's neat that they're including this, because they definitely didn't include this in Bakugan of the past. But, in all fairness, these were much simpler in design and so easier to close. You could do this with one finger if you really wanted to. Very straightforward. Whereas all these mechanisms are spring-loaded, so they have to be closed in a certain order. But yeah, so that's Howlkor. So I'll be making some videos here in the short future, the near future, with some other characters for you guys. But that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.